time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you. It's Tuesday. It's 10 o'clock where I'm at. It's 1 o'clock East Coast, which means one simple thing. It's a John and Wayne show. Wayne, how we doing today, man?
Rested. Well rested. Yes, well rested. And feeling good, you know.
Oh, I freaking love it. Yeah, I took my first day off of the season, which I'm feeling good. I played video games.
Ooh.
I went and got pumpkin pancakes for breakfast. Went on a walk with the wife on the walk. Dude, don't shake your head on pumpkin pancakes.
I can't do pumpkin. Bro, pumpkin is it has a distinct taste. It's not for me. I don't want pumpkin. I want pumpkin spice. Only thing I want in my pumpkin is candles because I want it to be a jack-o'-lantern. Like, that's it.
I'll take that. That's fair. That's fair.
Look,
but yeah,
I'm not the
rested,
only one.
and the 49ers players and coaches are rested. They got a bonus practice in yesterday. They'll get another kind of chill walkthrough practice today. It's the mini bye. You always hear Kyle Shanahan talk about this mini bye week. Thursday games suck, but get those 3 extra days off, and it just changes the way you feel. So what we're going to be doing today, the title of the show is Are the 49ers Back? Right? So we're going to be talking about that. Obviously, they're back in first place in the NFC West. We had to wait and see what was going to happen with the Arizona Cardinals. They got blown out. Good Lord. They are looking not real. So the 49ers back in first place in the NFC West, but you got these 2 games, Wayne. You got the Kansas City Chiefs in town this week. 49ers 1-point favorites. It's close. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys. I think Niners going to be favored by probably 5.5, 6.5 points against the Cowboys, who are struggling big time. So I guess my question to you is this. Let's start with this. And tomorrow on Wayne's channel only, Wayne Breezy, we're going to be breaking down the Chiefs game. But give me prediction. The 49ers are 3-3.
Yeah.
What is our record going to be after the Chiefs and after the Cowboys game?
Realistically, I think it'll be 4-4. But
1-1 over these next 2 games.
Yeah, I'll tell you overall 4-4. But you know what? The Niners can beat the Chiefs. So you know, it's not the same Chiefs. Now,
no, it's not.
I talked about this yesterday on Nitty Gritty last night with Peachy, and we talked about, you know, they're not the same, but they still got some of the same people that, you know, are used to beating the San Francisco 49ers. And this is one of those kind of like they got to take the monkey off their back type of things, right? Like Steve Young, take the monkey off my back, because they just can't beat the Chiefs. Remember when we couldn't beat the Cowboys for like ever? And then we just finally beat them. And then after that, it just finally started to even out, even though it seemed like the Cowboys beat us every single time we played. Well, that's what the Chiefs have done, you know, and I've done my research, and we haven't beaten them since 2012. 14, excuse me. So I'm just like, oh, man, that's a long time. And, you know, Harbaugh and then all the bad coaches and then Kyle Shanahan. So, like, they got to figure out a way, man. And I really think they can. I think the Niners team is well equipped. I think the offensive line is starting to gel. That's crazy. Like week 6, they're just starting to gel. Still work in progress. But I got question marks, because if we don't have our best option at running back, I'm nervous now, because who we handing off the ball? Because the way you beat them is by keeping them off the field. So you want to run the ball, right? And I'm sure you're going to give that in the game plan tomorrow. So, you know, I think our record realistically is going to be 4-4, but I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping we win both games.
Yeah. And, you know, I like this, Matt. Huge momentum, put the league on notice if the 49ers come out with a win this Sunday. And, like, I know, like, Chiefs have been the boogeyman of the 49ers. I heard Fred Warner talking about how he's never won against them. I think he's like 0-4 against them, and how important this is just to prove to yourself to get over this game, get over that hump, whatever that looks like. I think that's huge. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, division game, non-conference game. Non-conference game. And my man, Jack Cooley, thanks for the super chat, my friend. Could our fullback, Kyle Juice Uchek, who got his first touchdown of the season, the Juice TD tracker is now up to 1. Thank you, Jack. If Mason's out, that's got to mean more snaps for Kyle Juszczyk too, though, right? Or no?
No, absolutely not.
You don't want more for Juice?
No
more Juice.
No, I want, but not like that. I would like to see Juice utilized more. You know what? You said snaps, and when you say snaps, I'm thinking as far as touches, as far as a running back. That's not what I meant. But yeah, more snaps. I mean, listen, I don't have the snap count, but I don't know about you, but just watching the film, like Juice and he's been in 11 personnel. He's the lead back out there majority of the time. It's weird. It's like Kyle's really trying something a little bit different. So yeah, more snaps for Juice.
He's had 244 of 405 snaps this season. So he's way over 50%, which is way more than he usually gets.
Which is funny because his money lessened and then his snaps went up.
He's now the third down passing back. That's the thing. So he's the pass receiver. He's the third down.
He's the third down back for sure. But it would be interesting this week, and I don't know how much you trust this, but listen. We did our show talking about the future and things like that, and I think the future is very bright for the 49ers. I would like to see Isaac Guerrero utilized a little bit more in the passing game. Let's see him run some choice routes. Let's see him run some of those routes, where, he could take the angle route in or go outside, which is the choice route. I would like to see that. I would like to see him out of the backfield as a pass catcher, so that he can utilize his true natural talent. But I think if Mason isn't going good to go, you're going to have to utilize everybody, right? So you're going to have to put Debo. Debo's snaps in the backfield is going to increase. Juice is going to increase. Maybe Guerrero, maybe Patrick Taylor's the lead back now that they finally got him going. I'm not sure what his injury status is going to be, but everybody practiced yesterday except for the ones that can't practice. So he wasn't one of the ones that couldn't practice.
I like that. Phil, my man, he says, #CC, #BB, great tailgater. I had the wonderful opportunity to hang out in person with my man, Phil, his son. We had such a good time in Seattle. Hooked him up with the local chapter. I'm so excited about that relationship. Just getting people together. It's just, it's my favorite thing, man. And Phil, I just want to say thank you, dude. It was so great hanging out. Now, you're talking about the second running back position. I think that Jordan Mason is going to play this week. But my question to you, Wayne, and I asked this on Twitter as well, who should be the number 2 running back behind Jordan Mason? Should it be Isaac Guerrero like it has been, or should it be Patrick Taylor, who seems to be more reliable? Obviously, you got the big play from Guerrero. He's younger. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, when you say reliable, do you mean getting 2-3 yards? Because that's all we got.
Sticking with that's all Guerrero's had all year, except for that one run.
So then you might as well go with the young guy, right? And give him the reps. He's the least so for me, Patrick Taylor is like the safety net guy, right? So God forbid something happened to your young guy, whatever. At least you got that savvy veteran that you can lean on and depend on. Now I would like to see him get more reps if Mason isn't good to go or whatever or whatnot, but I just really think Guerrero needs to see more reps, bro. He's gotta understand and understand how to trust his rushing lanes, and those holes are gonna open up, and it sucks to have it would suck to take away from him when he finally got it right. You know what I mean? When he finally hit the, I'm not talking about just getting that explosive run, but he was hitting his lanes, he was hitting his holes. I think the run blocking can still be a tad bit better, especially when they're running inside. I really think Jake Brendo is hindering a lot of the inside zone runs for the San Francisco 49ers where they run left or right. But, I would like to see the rookie get more. And I'm not just saying that because that's my guy. I'm just saying, he gives you the capability of the breakaway play. And, yeah, he got caught last week, but that's what you're going to get from him. You got a guy that didn't get a lot of reps in college, but just had the ability to have an explosive game, and you just don't know when that explosive game is going to be. And if he's not doing well, if he's only getting you 2-3 yards to carry, 1 yard to carry, whatever like that, at least you can lean and depend on the savvy veteran, which is Patrick Taylor the second. Yeah.
Yeah, I put this poll and I got this up on the screen now. I said, who should be the number 2? 83% said Isaac Guerrero.
All it took was that one explosive play, huh?
That one. That's it. And so, like, what was his one explosive play? It was inside zone. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, he's fast. Use him in an outside zone. My biggest issue is he can't run outside zone. He has the worst vision I've ever seen of a running back in the NFL currently. Yeah. And it was that way in college too. I mean, he started one game his entire college career. And so I want to go to this because I got this email from an awesome supporter. Shout out David. And I'm going to read it word for word because he puts me on blast, and I think rightfully so. So here we go. This is what David emailed me. Yes, the rookie class looks extremely impressive so far. We haven't seen Pearsall yet. Yet you continue to crap on Guerrero. Yes, I get your draft analysis was pretty spot on, yet he is showing signs of being a valuable piece in our offense, end quote. Thank you, David. Keep it real all the time. Wayne, talk to me, man. Is David right with his criticism of me? I'm not a Guerrero guy. I thought the pick was good. I thought the injuries, the lack of vision, cannot run outside zone to save his life. That is my concern. Obviously, I'm hoping that it gets there, but him being a 24, 25-year-old rookie makes me a little bit upset that, like, he's so far behind he can't run outside zone. And then I'll stick to this. Patrick Taylor has the same amount of missed tackles forced as Guerrero does. He's only had 4 carries. So, Wayne, give it to me straight, man. You always do.
Yeah, but Patrick Taylor wasn't an outside zone guy neither. They didn't use him that way. I think with Guerrero, the thing is he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires. So you could say he's old, but he ain't play a lot.
True.
And on top of that, it's just like he was drafted for a reason. Like, he was drafted because of his ability and his explosiveness. And I think the one thing that the Niners offense lacked was that explosive run, whether it's inside zone or outside zone. So it's not that he can't do the outside zone. He's not allowing it to develop for him because he's not comfortable. He doesn't have the concept of what the outside zone run is. And that's where you trust your coach, Bobby Taylor. And they keep playing him, John, for some reason. I
think they should. I think they should. I really think they should keep playing him. But it's bad. Inside zone works. That the play that he broke,
that was Dominic Pooney.
Untouched.
Yeah. I mean, but
even Rendell got a decent block.
Right, and so when Kivitz is sealing this way and Pooney sealing this way, and the hole opens up like the heavens gates, he hits the hole, right? And he broke to the outside. But not everybody's an outside zone runner. I don't think every now and then Jordan Mason gives you a nice pop outside, but a lot of his stuff takes it from the inside and he kicks out. I think even Christian McCaffrey, as much as we love him, like, he could get to the outside, but the speed wasn't super there, right? And so we haven't really had the outside zone works. We just gotta have but the running backs gotta have the vision. And I talked about, like, Christian McCaffrey not being around, like, it would really help with the young kid. So he's really competing, right? He's not learning anything from Jordan Mason. He's saying, Mason, you out, I'm in. Like, I'm gonna compete. And it's like, sucks not having that savvy vet in there that can kind of help him or whatever. So he's got to really stick around and listen to his coaches. I feel like he's getting more opportunities than Jordan Mason did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when they trade multiple 5th rounders up to go get you,
ain't that crazy?
Get your shots. And, you got to say, he's ahead of Sermon. He's ahead of JPP. He's ahead of those guys. Whatever, or TDP. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. David, he's right here. He says, still love everything you do. Go Niners. No, dude, I do not mind criticism. Disagreements is my love language. It's just whenever it's done respectfully, like you did, that's beautiful. Agency 323. He says, I think if they ran Guerrero like they did Mostert, getting to that edge over and over again, it opens up more play action. I do want more play action.
We need more play action.
And I think that's why they drafted him, Agency. But if you watch any of his outside zone,
the vision's not there.
It's not there. He is slow and cuts back immediately. He is so slow, does not trust. He just cuts back immediately.
I can't blame it all on vision. I understand vision, but it's not all vision. It's more this. And so it's like he's just not trusting the lane to be open. He's not slow. He's slow here, and that's bad to say. He's slow in the processing part of the outside zone. So he's still learning it, You know what I mean? Like it's still developing in his mind. I just feel like if the kid can grasp that, year one, year two is gonna be phenomenal.
Love that. Yeah. Hey, Gabe, he's like, I don't think we've seen enough of either. I would stay with Grindo. And now let me say this. This is a flaw that I have. Okay. Aaron, thank you. He's like, John was a Ray Davis truther. That man showed up
Kentucky.
last night. I love Tyrone Tracy. I loved Ray Davis. I loved Braylon Allen. I loved Will Shipley. I loved all these different backs. And that didn't mean I didn't like Grindo. It just, Grindo was a giant question mark because he started one game in his entire 6-year college career. Figure that out. But like, it was just a question mark. And so this is a problem that I have is my draft rankings are burned into my brain. And so whenever these other running backs are doing so much great things, I get upset. And then all the running backs that the Niners always draft struggle. And so it's just compounds. Not saying that's the correct way to look at it. I'm saying that's the incorrect way to look at it, kind of a sunk cost fallacy mindset. But that's just kind of where I am. That's where I am. Sonia, John, I picked up Mason in fantasy because I had a feeling they were going to switch out CMC and Mason this year. Unfortunately, he got injured. But I felt Kyle was going to switch running backs this year. If CMC comes back, Wayne, which I think we all think he will after the bye, does he go back to being CMC 30-plus touches a game CMC? Or does it go back to more of a 1-2 running back by committee type thing with Mason playing the way he is?
I think you ease him back in, right? At least for the first couple weeks. And then you give him the full throttle. Like he gets the keys back to the range. I mean, that's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
There's nobody on this team that can even amount to that status. So as much as I love Jordan Mason and what he's able to do and what he's been doing, was leading the league in rushing until he got hurt, and would have been, well, he did lead the league in rushing even after he got hurt, but the rest of the week didn't happen yet. But my point is, like, it's good to have the 1-2 combo. So, like, I think we forget that the year CMC, the first year that he started, not when he first came, but the year where he started, we went to the championship game, all that stuff, right? We keep forgetting the game plan. Game plan was CMC and Elijah Mitchell, and we were getting glimpses of what Jordan Mason could be, but Kyle Shanahan, Bobby Turner, they weren't trusting Jordan Mason as of yet. And now we know why, because Mason kind of let the cat out of the bag, right? That's why Elijah Mitchell was so sought and high up on, because it was trust factor there. And so he couldn't stay healthy. He's still on the team. He's not healthy, right? And so I think finally the trust with Mason is there, and now we're getting the 1-2 punch. We're getting the guy that can go 10 plays, take a play off, give a guy 2 or 3 plays, come back in. And on those 2 or 3 plays, like, Jordan Mason can average, 9 yards a carry on each carry if he gets the ball on those 2 3. So this is what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. And I think this is why, we get a little frustrated. Why are we not running the ball? Because Kyle only has Jordan Mason to trust. You can say what we want. And so you talked about Garindo not being one of your guys. Let's go over who my guys were, because Garindo was my guy. So was Jalen Wright. So and a couple of the other speed backs that I felt like we needed to add that element to the 49ers offense. And so that's what we did. We went with a speed back, and with a speed back, you're going to get what you get, and then some explosive plays. And so we'll see what happens, man. But I'm all for Jordan Mason, man. I think he's going to be good to go. Let's just hope throughout this week the AC joint is starts to kind of heal. Swelling goes down and all that stuff, and he's able to take a hit. I just don't know if Mason plays if he's not able to take a hit, because they will never know how he can recover after, he get hit. So let's see how he practices this week. You know what I mean?
There we go. I like it. Got to ask a question, MC. Do we have a running back on the practice squad? We do. Keyshawn Vaughn is currently on the practice squad. So if for some reason Mason can't go, but I do expect him to go, that's who would be elevated there. RTP, my man Matthew, he agrees with you, Wayne. And so 2 people who's, everything I trust. I like it. I like it. Now, tomorrow, I got a real quick announcement. We are going to have our Jerry Rice tier Zoom hangout meeting.
Happy birthday.
That's what's up, babe. Yeah, right. Birthday,
birthday.
Number 80. So tomorrow, the 16th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. I don't know if it's standard. Pacific time. I'll just say Pacific time.
I
Nobody
took out
corrects
the
me.
I
take
took
it
out the S's. I took out the S's.
I don't know. I'm not a smart man, but
Somebody
I do
told
know.
us to take out the S's, and I ain't said the S's ever since.
I love this 49ers throwback, the best there is. Thanks for tuning in, faithful. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, go follow the Wayne Breezy, wherever it is your stuff, wherever. Now, I want to talk about this, Wayne. We have a little bit. We're talking practice squad. Why not? Let's do it. We got a new kicker. Here we go. Wayne Breezy, this is where I get all my news. I got to lean over so I'm not blocked here. The 49ers are signing kicker Andres Carlson to the team's practice squad. We now have 1, 2, 3 kickers, which is ridiculous, but whatever. Talk to me about signing this kicker. Your tweet broke the news to me. That's how I realized we had a new kicker. Tell me what's up with Andres Carlson.
I think it's an insurance policy, right? Like, so we got another kicker in here just in case, Matthew Wright isn't good to go. Look, Matthew Wright had a shoulder injury, even though the MRI came back negative. You know how injuries are with the San Francisco 49ers. Them junks flare up right at game time. Right before the game start, injury flares up. Practice all week. Next thing you know, they can't go. So I think, you have a guy on the practice squad. He takes up a spot on the practice squad. And if anything happens to Matthew Wright moving forward for Sunday's matchup against the Chiefs, you bring in a guy that you can elevate off the practice squad. Now, listen, he's an 81.8% field goal kicker. He's 80% extra point kicker. You could take it how you want it, as long as a 53. But it is what it is. I mean, the Niners, maybe Kyle's just going to score all touchdowns in the red zone and just have a kicker on deck. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's got to be the game plan.
Why don't you just run? My favorite thing was, whenever I coached and stuff, and like there was this one guy who I coached, like he had so many kids. I coached all of his kids through my time coaching, and he would just sit in the stands and he would yell, "Run the touchdown play!" like over and over. Run the touchdown play. And it's like, there's not a touchdown play. I wish there was, but it's just every single time. Anyway, I love the comment section because they're saying what I believe. Filthy Casual. Can Carlson kick the kickoff through the end zone? Aaron, one question. Can he kick it out of the end zone? We have got not one, but 2 kickers hurt because they cannot kick it out of the end zone for a touchback. Wade, do you have any insight? Have you broken down Carlson's kickoff velocity and distance?
Yeah, he can't really kick the ball into the end zone. And just in defense of Jake Moody, he can't kick it in the end zone. We've watched him do it numerous amounts of times. He's kicked the ball out of the end zone. I don't know what they're asking our kickers to do. Now, that's on the coach. And so that's why I always revert back to Brian Schneider. Like, what are you asking these kickers to do now?
They're 100% asking them to kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know what happened on the Jake Moody play.
He's not consistent whenever he goes all out. Like his ball will land far left, 1 yard from the thing, 10 yards back out of the end zone. Short, like I mean, that.
But he has the ability. My thing is, he has the ability to do it. These other guys don't.
One of the strongest legs in the NFL.
Yeah, the other guys don't. I think that's my issue. Like he has the ability to do it. You just said he's inconsistent. The other guys just can't do it.
Cannot.
But at the end of the day,
she nails it.
At the end of the day, Jalen Graham has to make that tackle. And then Jalen Mahoney has to make the tackle. So, like, at the end of the day, if the ball's not kicked out of the end zone, which is what we all want to do, there's a possibility, y'all do know that may not happen. And if that doesn't happen, that's why you got guys on the football field. There's 10 other guys. 10 guys got to make one tackle. I don't understand how we're not making the tackles. You can't play hit stick in real life. I don't know why people think you can hit stick like it's Madden in real life. Laviska Shenault is a G. He took the hit.
They're doing the Channing Tatum. I'm going to make a name.
Ooh, I got a question for you, right? So,
yes, sir. Yes,
Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles is back. Does he make that tackle?
He hasn't all year. I mean, that dude got the most missed tackles on the team.
I was waiting for that. He hasn't, but I feel like his veteranship would have, if he would have got through, he would have made that tackle. I'm just saying, but he hasn't all year. That's the truth, 100%. Special teams tape is terrible.
There we go. Phil, appreciate the super chat. Does anyone look at the UFL for kickers? They have a few consistent. Yeah, and a couple of those guys got signed.
Why not just let Mitch Wisnowski kick off?
He ain't got the leg, man. He sucks off a tee.
Interesting. That's crazy. Most punters do the kickoffs.
Well, that's big reason why we switched from Robbie Gould to Jake Moody is because when Robbie Gould was kicking, like him and Mitch were close. They don't have the leg. So we want the touchbacks, but now we're throwing bodies. We're just throwing bodies out there. Like, man, just get us through the bye week. Hey, kickers are replaceable unless you're a top 3 guy. So I'm not overly concerned. I'll probably bet, as I have continued to bet, 49ers over 1.5 field goals every single game because I've made a lot of money on that this
yeah. We can't score in the red zone at the beginning of the game. At least we were able to figure it out closing out the game, though.
That's right.
That's a good sign.
And I'll say this, like, maybe we run that touchdown play that dude kept screaming at me for 10 straight years. But if you haven't bet with us yet this year, you need to. Man, we made a lot of money this past week. You know football. You watch all the games. You know what's going to happen before it actually does. So why don't you put your knowledge to the test over at MyBookie, where you can bet on everything. Go to mybookie.ag. Use promo code 49ERS, 49ers, or scan this QR code next to me, and they're going to match your initial deposit. Put in 50, you get 50. Put in 100, you get 100, all the way up to $1,000. Plus, you can bet everywhere. California, Texas, doesn't matter. I've been in California for years. I've used it for 6 straight years. Easy to get money in, easy to get money out, trusted source, and you can bet on anything you want. You want to bet on politics, any sport, you name it. They've got the casino if that's your thing. You name it, MyBookie is there for you. Now, make sure you use promo code 49ERS to get that double deposit. And MyBookie, bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. All right, Wayne, this is time. We're about to get the Wayne effect. This is my favorite thing on Tuesdays. I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. You go as short or as long as you want to go on these things. Let's start at corner. Okay, let's go defense. Who should be the starting cornerback against the Chiefs this week? Charvarius Ward or Renardo Green?
Oh, I'm still starting Ward.
You're still starting Ward?
I'm still starting Ward if he's healthy. See, Ward has to be healthy. I think the issue with Ward this year is health. I just don't think he's fully recovered from the surgery. The he didn't really fully practice a lot. Training camp was off. He didn't really, you know what I'm saying? So if he's fully good to go, though, I think I go with Ward. But I definitely do the same thing I do at the running back position. I'm rotating guys. I'm rotating them in. If they got the speed out there, I'm putting out Renardo Green. And this is not a shot at Renardo Green. This is more just like I want to see Ward play against his old team and see how well he's going to be able to do against his old team. So I would put Ward out there. No lie. Like that's just kind of my thing. But loved everything from Renardo Green, and I think he's ready to take the torch and run with it. I do want to see him on the football field, though. So that means I put him in over Yedem.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
But not over Ward, who's been way worse than all of them.
He's been worse, but I'm thinking my reason why he's worse is due to the injury. I'm hoping with this extra week off, he had a week off. What is that? A knee injury now. I'm hoping he'll be able to recover. And it's a team that he's familiar with too. So I don't know if that plays a role. But yeah, Ward, you gotta give him the shot. If he doesn't, you pull him out quick.
There we go. Now, a way faster wide receiver. That's what he struggled with in the past. You got Xavier out there, fastest wide receiver in the fastest player in the NFL. And then also, like I'll say this, I still got PTSD when we brought Ward off the injury last time we played the Chiefs in the regular season. That dude just got toasted.
Interesting.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
But okay, I like it. We got Nicholas Parra. What's up, man? Appreciate the super chat. Bros, love you. How will Worthy be used this Sunday? I'm like, if Charvarius Ward is out there and I'm the Chiefs, I'm motioning Xavier Worthy to wherever Charvarius Ward is, and I'm running go routes. I mean, he's been toasted so much by speed coverage all year. That's the 49ers' biggest Achilles heel. Safeties are slow. Charvarius Ward's not a fast like corner. Renardo Green's our one guy that's like in demo. Those are back-to-back matchup against speed guys. What do you say, Wayne?
Yeah, that's why I said, like, if you're going to match up, I mean, if you know, you're going to see Worthy out, they're probably going to come in, you know, a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of 11 personnel. You're going to see that on the football field a lot. And I think Worthy is going to be the receiver that's going to be out there a lot. Worthy and Juju seem to be the guys. You know, I don't want to overlook Watson and their other receiver, but I just really feel like, you know, with Worthy, I would want to match him up. And that's why I said, like, if they got 3 receivers out there, I really want to put out, you know, hey, Demo, you go ahead and get into the slot, you cover who, whatever, and I'm putting Renardo Green out there. And so, like, I'll take my chances. I know they're going to look to get the matchup, but this is where Malik Mustafa comes in, and this is where his speed and his athleticism comes in. I believe he's going to be fully healthy and ready to go against the Chiefs. I think you play single high safety in this game, and you allow him to just float the top of the field and get there and beat the snot out of whoever catches that ball. And I think that's where Malik Mustafa comes in. But I do like the matchup between Renardo Green because of his speed and his physicality. I don't think he allows Xavier Worthy to get out there and get down the field on him with these go routes. Even though Xavier Worthy is fast, you got to press him. You got to jam him.
There we go. All right, next question. I like this. Tommy, appreciate you, brother. Keys to the Chief game. Bench DFF. He says slow Bell. I think he's talking Roddy Bell. So wait, Fred Warner's our number 1 linebacker. Number 2 linebacker should be Campbell or D. Winters. Who would you put number 2? Because they made a switch late in the game. Who's your number 2 guy against the Chiefs?
Did they make the switch late in the game, or did they make the switch early in the game?
Like the last drive.
I thought he switched them out early after he gave it that first touchdown, and I think I started to see some Winters out there.
Yeah. So what would you do?
I think you go. So my theory is you got to go with the younger whippersnappers that can cover. This is a speed game. You got to go with your matchup linebackers, man. And so, like, you don't want these tight ends and Noah Gray and Travis Kelce who aren't super fast, but they're athletic, right? And they get open. And so, like, I'd be damned if these are the guys that are catching passes over, you know, our slow linebacker when it comes to Devondre Campbell. Now, listen, Campbell against the run is bar none a great linebacker, but you can take away, you can stop Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean? He's not as physical as Isaiah Pacheco was. So I don't necessarily need Campbell out there. I think you got to go with D. Winters. I think it's time to introduce Winters to the starting lineup and let him be that guy that you trust in your coverage. He didn't have a good grade game last week, but I still like what I saw him flying around out there on the football field. I thought that was important.
Yeah, I like that. And I missed it. Slow Bell's not Ronnie Bell, it's Campbell. So my bad.
That was funny.
That. I want number 1, Fred Warner, number 2, D. Winters, and then in 3 linebacker sets, bring Campbell on as the will, then kick D. Winters
out to the
that number 3. I don't want DFF out there, period. Like,
no. I want him out there for special teams though.
Okay. I like that. I'm cool with that. Right here, Nick, have you noticed the play action has been killing us this year as well? It's usually when they go deep. Yeah, we're not getting as much pressure. Whenever we telegraph 4-man pressure, which is a staple of what Sorensen does, is telegraphing what coverage we're in. When we show we're just going to bring 4-man pressure, they can call to their play action deep passes with zero regard, with zero whatever. It's a problem. It is a major, major issue with telegraphing coverages, which we are very, very bad at. I think Sorensen took some positive steps up, but still several just like, what the hell are you doing, man? I remember being at the game just like, we're in man coverage. They're going to throw it right here. Boom, first down, third down conversion. It's a lot of easy to see sometimes. And so if we could disguise more, that would be nice. But against Andy Reid, yeah, right here. Tell me, Nick Sorensen versus Andy Reid. Yikes! I'm terrified of that.
Yeah, and you should be. And it's not Sorensen. It's not just Sorensen, right? It's also his personnel. It's also his players. It's also them, right? Because when you think about it, you know, why are we struggling in play action? Oh, because the safeties suck. Like, they literally go
all of them.
Soon they see the ball handed off, they bite and run. First and foremost thing, right? Same thing with the linebackers, right? And so it's just like we can blame Sorensen because he's only rushing 4, but his job is to not get beat deep. And even in that, he's getting beat deep because his personnel, his groupings out there, the players he got playing, they're just biting on the run. I watched Talanoa Hufanga do it. I watched Jair Brown do it. Malik Mustafa does it. I'm telling you, like, it's like the ultimate fake. And if they can sell, like, I feel like we're the only team that don't sell it. We do it. It's just like play action pass. Like right? It's like it's not even a good sell. Like, how about you hike the ball and you really put it in the breadbasket and you pull it out the last second? But that all takes time for plays to develop. The Niners don't have same type of offensive line as most teams as well. So Brock Purdy, I'm not super mad at him for that. I'm just saying, like, when you watch these other teams do it, we bite the bait real hard. So yeah, we can blame Nick Sorensen for sure because it's his looks out there. He is not But it was funny because I saw a couple linebacker. I saw some safety blitz in the last game. I saw a couple linebacker blitzes. I'm like, oh, should we do blitz? But it's real telegraphic. Like, you know when we're gonna blitz because safety's up there on the line. Like, you know he's coming. So like you said, no disguising. So that's growing pains on Sorensen.
So sticking with the safety thing, Sonia, we all do, and I think there's still a lot of promise there. Jair Brown hasn't been good this year. Definitely did
not yet.
Where he left off. Not yet. Now, my question is this. Does George Odom deserve more snaps? He got beat deep on one of those plays. He has more pass breakups than all the safeties combined, and he has the fewest snaps of all the safeties as well. I feel like George Odom seems to be the most consistent safety when he's out there. He only gets to play when somebody's hurt. But I don't know. Am I crazy on that one? I feel like he's the only guy that makes positive impact plays consistently.
He does, but it's like he's not good. Like, he's still getting beat. He's even getting beat on those PBUs. It's just that he finishes the play. But he stepped up big time last week. I'm sorry. Like, you got to give him credit where credit is due. Malik Mustafa went down. George Odom came in the game, had 2 PBUs in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, will we get that, though, as a starting safety from him? That's the question. It seems like when he starts, he regresses. When he doesn't start, he progresses.
He's an off the bench guy.
Yes. Some people play well off the bench.
That's what it is. David, Slick Rick can practice now. Talking about Ricky Pearsall. Finally, amazing draft class already. We haven't even seen our first round pick. Do you think he's going to live up to the hype? Here's my question to you, Wade.
Yes.
He's activated 3-week practice window. Will he play in the game this week?
No.
I don't think so either.
Cowboys game, though. Sunday Night Football will be his debut. Yeah.
I like that. And whenever he does come play, like, whose snaps is he taking?
Everybody's except for Debo's, Jennings, and Ayuk's.
Man. Oof. Okay.
You got to rotate him in there, right? You got to figure out where you're going to put him in there.
I like that. Now, speaking about rotating, we got another guy back that says he's ready on Twitter. John Feliciano put the SpongeBob gif. I'm ready. Thoughts?
He ready, but did he pass? Is he healthy? Because if he's healthy, he needs to be practicing. Like, because at this point, but I really feel like he's a piece that they're saving because they're going to get full throttle from him right after the bye. I think that's when he'll be introduced. He will no longer be depth. I think he goes. It's how hard is it though to replace your starting center? Like, because that's where he has to go. I feel like that's the weakest link.
That's where they were practicing. Yeah, it's the worst player on, maybe not the roster, but starting 22 spots. 100%. Yeah. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. It's bad. Maybe Leonard Floyd. But it's bad. Like, I want him there.
Well, if
they were rotating in training camp.
I don't know. Like that's where I don't see him. If I don't see him taking that starting center spot, then he's just depth, which is good. But if the Niners aren't hurt, he won't play. It is what it is. I think that the offensive line though is starting to gel. The pressures, they're still giving up pressures, but they're minimizing the sacks and the quarterback hits. That's a good thing. And a lot of the hits are Brock Purdy scrambling around taking hits, opposed to just standing in the pocket taking hits. So that's a good thing. Just overall, I'm not talking about from last game. So I don't know, man. The more that the offensive line plays, the more continuity they have. Is he an upgrade on some positions on the offensive line? I think so. I don't think Aaron Banks has been great.
No.
Can he play left guard?
Yeah. He's
I
left
know
guard.
McKivitz is an issue, but he seems okay to me. If
they bench Banks in his contract year, whew.
That means that the Niners are gonna try to get him for $2.50.
Yeah.
And he'll probably tell the Niners to go F themselves and make $3.50.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Now, we had big trade in the NFL. Devontae Adams got traded to the Jets. Raiders ate all that money. They traded a first and second round pick, had him for a year and a half, then traded him for a third round pick. It only becomes a second round pick if he starts in the AFC Championship or Super Bowl, or he's an all-pro player. So they gave him a third round pick and took all the money. So my question, do you see the 49ers making a trade soon? We're getting
I see I don't know if it's
weeks.
soon, but I see the 49ers making a trade. Like, they're going to make a trade. Like, they got to what, November?
After the bye week.
It was right after the bye week? I don't know. Is that November? My dates are off.
Yeah, just like last year, like the 49ers seem to request. It's basically November 10th. When's, I think, it's election day. Yeah, it's November 2nd. So it's that bye week is it's that first whatever Tuesday of November. So our bye week is the deadline. So you have 3 weeks essentially to get a trade done. And I know everybody always asks, like, the big name. Max Crosby's got to be out there. He said, if you trade Devontae, you got to trade me too. I don't think they're going to be in the market for a guy like Max Crosby. I wish. The Niners just don't seem to do that. I mean, Max Crosby's going to cost a first and a second round pick probably. I don't know. Would you do that trade?
I mean,
maybe.
Look, nah. I mean, if the Niners traded a first round pick again, this fan base will go nuts. So I don't think they would do that, but I think the Niners would entertain it and try to get rid of a second round pick and possibly some other stuff maybe for the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't think they care about the money. I think that's been clearly made. I think that message is clear. They don't give a fuck about the salary cap. They're trying to win. And so if you're trying to win, if you're trying to go all in, this is a player you want. And it's not just about him being amazing though, John. It's about him just being a mother freaking bad boy. No Diddy. I'm talking real bad boy. Bad to the bones.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And right, you get what I'm saying, though. If you want to know what the Niners defense is missing, no shot at my man Fred Warner, but you don't play on the line, dog. The line is soft as Twinkie feeling, bro. Yes, they are. They are just about as soft as you can get. If my star defensive end, Nick Bosa, said, yeah, man, I know the pressures. I'm getting these pressures, but, the numbers, the sacks, that's what we got to get to the quarterback. And I think at this point, you got to find a way to wreck shop. And defensively is where it is, because you want to keep offenses from scoring, period. And that allows your offense to do what it needs to do, whether they got a supplement, whether they can run long drives, whether they can just go all out, bang, bang, bang. But it starts with the D. And when you get into the playoffs, the defense need to be on the field. And I don't know about you, John, but the last year in the playoffs, defense was soft as mother freaking cotton. And I couldn't figure it out. And I'm tired I don't want to hear nothing about Nick Bosa being held. That ain't going to change. He's going to get held every single time until he goes to acting school and learns how to put his hands up and do a pair of ways, semi-demi, flip, or whatever. Do something to let the rest know he being held. Other than that, they ain't going to call it. So I would love that. The question is, will they do it? And I feel like John Lynch is that guy.
I could see him calling and being like, hey, man.
I just feel like he's that dude. I feel like he's that dude. I just do. And I know people are worried about Brock Purdy.
One of my favorite players in the NFL, Max Crosby.
Not worried about Brock Purdy. Not worried about that contract at whatsoever. You never know. They can go to Brock and say, listen, man, we try and win this championship this year. And I know we got to pay you next year, but we need this guy. Quarterbacks do things for their teams, man. Tom Brady did it for several decades.
Yeah.
One of the most underpaid football players of all time until he left and went to Tampa and was like, I'm getting all my money.
I love it.
There was no more Giselle.
Yeah, she was gone.
She was gone.
Now, I'll say this. Whenever you're talking trades, you've got to look at the team's record. I'm seeing some TJ Watt. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in first place. They're not trading TJ Watt, who is their franchise. That's 0% chance.
Yeah.
You've got to look at teams that, like even the Jets, they're 2-4. Like, they're trading because they've got no future. They have mortgaged everything for Aaron Rodgers. They have to push all the chips in, whether they suck or not. So teams that you want to look for, the Patriots, 1-5. That's a team. Cleveland, 1-5. Tennessee, 1-4. Jacksonville, 1-5. Jacksonville already traded one player to the Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle. That was a good trade, by the way. The Raiders.
What did the Jags get?
2026 6-rounder.
Okay.
So those are the type of trades Shanahan does. Bargain bid, 5th, 6th, 7th, future picks. I think that's what he likes to do. Jordan Willis, Jordan Willis. That's how they got O'Menahue. That's how they got Malik Collins 7th.
But you got to look at
cheaper ones.
I understand they do like that, but they do know when they're a piece away, they will go after the name. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is here.
That's true.
Trent Williams is here.
That's true.
So they do both, John. Let's just be fair.
That's true. Carolina Panthers 1-5, and then the Rams no division trade will happen.
Should have traded for Brian. Yeah. We should have tried to get Brian Burns, but he's long gone. Because now I don't even hear his name with the Giants. I don't even know if he plays football.
Yeah, Quentin Williams not available. They're buying. The Jets are buying. They're not trading Quentin. I like Quentin Williams. That's not happening. So
I realize that's probably what we need more of. Interior.
Yeah, I'll take that. What I'm doing is Evan Anderson. I love Evan Anderson.
Well, I love Evan Anderson too.
He's on our practice squad. Yeah. Sign that dude to the 53. Send Braden Willis back to the practice squad. He was a healthy scratch after being promoted. You've got a spot on the damn roster. You've got a spot.
Anderson.
That dude is balling out.
You should get a shirt that says Mr. Anderson.
Every time I see his name, I'm just like, yes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
I love it. All right, tomorrow we're going to be over on Wayne's show. We're going to be looking forward, focusing on the Chiefs game. Go type in the Wade Breezy 10. It's at 10, right?
Yep.
10 my time, 1 your time.
Time. Eastern Pacific. Eastern Pacific.
I like it. Now, again, just one final reminder. Tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, we got our Jerry Rice tier Zoom hangout. Come join us for that. Wayne, take us out of here, my man.
Hey, faithful. We got a big game this weekend. You know it's a big game. And it's not a must-win game, but it's one of those must-win games. Why? Because we need to mentally get our minds prepared and get over this hump. This is the week we do it. It's Niners. It's Chiefs. John Chapman. Wayne Breezy. Keep it faithful, y'all. To the Bay.